if you stay up all night and say it's 6:15, I ought to go to bed right now. No, it is 6:15 a.m. in California, which means it is like 9:16 for a lot of you people, because by the time I finished saying that, it went up a minute and you're 3 hours ahead because you're on the East Coast. I am here to talk about the obsession with Aaron Glenn. It's all over Twitter. I constantly see it for the last 6 weeks, and it is absolutely maddening. Fans need to stop obsessing over Aaron Glenn. It's like, first of all, he's literally getting better and growing as a coach as the year goes by. And I'm so sick of people saying, we're losing, we're losing. We're losing because we have no roster. We're losing because we have no quarterback. And the reason we don't have a quarterback is because it's a rebuilding year. That's why he didn't bring back Aaron Rodgers. And that's why, like, everybody's got to chill out. We traded away Quinnen Williams. We traded away Sauce Gardner. Garrett Wilson's not even in I mean, we took away the three biggest stars. Everybody's got to chill out. It is a rebuild. He is a better in-game coach than he was week 1, week 2, week 3. He is growing as a coach. He's got these players playing hard for him in spite of the fact that they traded away their leaders and their stars. Yet they're still playing. They're 2-8 or 2-9, and they're still playing. I don't understand what's so hard to understand about that. They're still playing for him. And it's not these blowouts where we're garbage. It was 21-14 against New England, deep into the game. We were in the game at halftime against the Ravens. These are teams that, like, the Ravens are far superior in their roster. But these guys are playing hard. Let me tell you what we really should care about. If Aaron Glenn's not the guy, we will know. Because next year, they're going to have a couple of draft picks. Hopefully, we're going to get our quarterback. But either way, there needs to be an improvement next year. And it's not playoffs next year or bust. That's ridiculous. It's just improvement. Maybe at this time next year where, I don't know, what are we at, 11 games in? Maybe we're 4-7? 5-6 would be amazing, actually. 4-7 would be acceptable, right? Whatever it is, depending on how we look. I mean, depending on what's going on. If the quarterback's playing well, we get a young quarterback and they're good, and we're 4-7, we'll be saying what's going on here. Maybe. I mean, there's no way to predict. We have to see. But the reality is by 2027, we have to be a good team. Otherwise, if in 2027 we're still 4-7, 4-8, then he's going to be fired, and rightfully so. But this is year one. And every single coach, Pete Carroll's rookie year was Jets, got fired. And then he won a Super Bowl with Seattle years later. Like, people have to understand, like, take it easy. You're obsessing over the wrong thing. Aaron Glenn will be gone if he doesn't turn this team around in the next 2 years, 2.5 years, whatever it is. Okay? And it'll suck. But we don't know what kind of coach he's going to be. Because if we draft well, get the quarterback, and then take advantage of the 2027 draft, we'll have tons of money, and all of a sudden we're this competitor pushing into the playoffs, then everyone's going to feel really stupid. Right? And if he stinks, then you'll say, yeah, he never got better, and he gets fired, and that's what happens. And we're back to the drawing board. Except maybe we'll have a bunch more stars because we have all these draft picks. Who knows? But the obsession with Aaron Glenn has got to stop. There is only one thing that this fan base should be obsessing over. There is only one thing we should be thinking about as a major thing. Look, it's nice to see A.D. Mitchell getting open like crazy. It's nice to see Mechie looking like he's starting to flourish and build the career that I think we all knew he could build when he was in college, and we watched him at Alabama, and he was a top wide receiver in the nation. And he looked like he was going to be this, like, a potentially superstar freaking slot receiver, and then tore his ACL in the championship game or the playoff, what have you, and then that was it. And then he had the leukemia thing, and he had all kinds of stuff, and now he's healthy. And he's looking really good. So there's little parts that are going well. The offensive line are developing. We've talked about this. There's things that are hopeful. Without Quinnen Williams, the defensive tackles actually look better as stopping the run. We're actually the defensive line is actually doing a better job in stopping the run. Without Quinnen Williams. Okay, we're missing his pass rushing ability, sure. And I'm not putting him down as a player. I'm just saying this guy Phillips, this guy Briggs, they're doing a really good job at making us a decent run defense with our linebackers. They're turning this around. They're looking better as a defense. Suddenly, we're stopping the run. That's a good thing. And AZ Thomas is getting better each week. He's developing as a player. He's going to be a real cornerback. And Stevens makes really big plays. He looks fine. We lost Sauce Gardner, but our secondary looks like it's going to be okay. We got a young AZ Thomas. We got Stevens under contract for at least another year. If not, I think we have team control for another two. If he keeps playing like this, we're doing okay. We got a good draft coming up. We're going to have a lot of picks. We can fill up, improve that safety room. Maybe add another edge. So replace Clemens and get a good edge that's smart and can seal the edge. Maybe we get a star. Who knows on that side of the ball. But there's only one thing we should really be obsessed about. And I haven't said it yet, but I think most people could figure it out because it's kind of obvious. It's the thing we haven't had in 40 plus years, 50 years, really, 45, 46 years. It's the thing that we come close to having, but something always goes wrong. It's the thing that separates great organizations and bad organizations. It's the thing that creates winners and creates losers or just mediocrity. And that is quarterback. We need a quarterback. That's all we should be focused on. Is what does this team need to do? What do we need to do? Is it the draft? Is it signing a guy? Is it trading for a guy? Our focus is one thing. The key to building a real organization, a real team with sustainable winning is one thing right now. It's quarterback. Everything else can be replaced. If Aaron Glenn's not the guy, you fire him. If Wilkes is not the guy, you fire him. If Astrand is not the guy, you fire him. Everything can be built around the quarterback. It's so easy when you have a quarterback. It really is. It really is. The only team that seems to mess it up every year is Cincinnati because they refuse to protect them. Right? That's the one team. But we don't have that problem right now. Our offensive line is looking good. It seems that we've actually figured out that you need an offensive line, the Jets organization. I mean, these guys came in and walked into it, but they did their draft pick. They took Membu, so they knew it. What's the first thing he did? New GM, new coach. What's the first thing they did? They solidified that offensive line. What did they do in Detroit? What did they do in Denver? They solidified the offensive line. For what? Because the one thing that you have to do when you're getting a quarterback is they have to have an offensive line. Not just because they need time to pass the ball. A great quarterback might not even need that much time. It's to keep them healthy. Right? Otherwise, you're Cincinnati. Right? Focused on the quarterback and wide receivers. Everybody said, oh, look, they went to the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl. And then what happened? Did they win a Super Bowl? Did they have sustained winning? No. Why? Because they didn't focus on the offensive line. I'm so tired of people saying, oh, we're overvaluing the offensive line. Now, I agree. We shouldn't have to build an offensive line with number one picks, every one. It shouldn't be that you need to use five first round picks for five offensive linemen. You have to be able to hit in later rounds. You have to be able to get, and we did. We picked up Simpson for free practically, right? So we did. Tippmann was a second round pick because we had the extra pick and we used it smart, right? We used it in a good way. He's a good, solid guy, right? Now we have to get creative. Extend Simpson because I don't think his contract would cost too much. He's not a star. He's just a good, solid player. Hopefully we get him at a reasonable price. Get that locked down. You got the two tackles. I'm not worried about center long term because it's easy to look. As positions go, it's easy. Right? Nothing is easy in the sense that good players are, good players, but you don't have to invest a lot for a center. You draft a center in the second or third rounds, you got a star a lot of times if you draft right. And then you got to figure out what you're going to do, right? You got Tippmann, right? I imagine he's not going to play center, regardless of how stupid those announcers were the other day. He's not playing his natural position, and he's doing good. Shut up. Not his natural position. Like, this is what I hate about announcers that aren't Jets people that don't know what they're talking about. Like everybody knows that's watching that knows anything about football. Any Jet fan knows that Tippmann is a better guard than he is a center. Center is what's not natural to him. He was forced to be a center in college, whatever it was. He's not built to be a center. He's the wrong size. Tom C said it himself. He's too big. We all saw it. It was an issue with snapping the ball because he's so big. It's hard for him to come off the snap. He's not built to be a center. He's built to be a right guard or a left guard. You could throw that guy on either side. I like him next to Membo because they're both freaking beasts and they maul people. So what do we have to do? We have to get a center and we have to re-sign or extend Simpson. You know, worst case scenarios, we take the kid from Penn State who's a stud, and then I guess you move Tippmann back and you have Simpson and the kid, Aguadia, whatever the hell his name is from Penn State. I don't know. But there's a lot of good centers coming out too that we can get in the later rounds. We don't have to waste such a high pick on a guard. What's up, Danger? What's going on? What's up, Phil Adams in England? How much mash did the cat? I only ate one scoop of mashed potato. I was like a regular person. I went. The question was how much bacon and cheese I put on my one scoop of mashed potatoes at the mashed potato bar. Because somebody made a comment like, hey, that's a lot of bacon, bro. Look, we have a really good offensive line and a couple of, like, even at the end of the season, very few easy moves. I say bring back AVT if you can get him. If somebody doesn't overpay him, and you could bring back AVT to be not the guy you're relying on, but he could be a guy that can compete to be a starter. But also, if he's not a starter, he plays every position but center. What a perfect sixth man. If anyone goes down, AVT comes in. He could play any position, left tackle, right guard, left guard. Like, it's perfect. You don't rely on him, but if we can get him for 5 to 7 million, and you get a guy who might be a starter, when he's healthy, he's good, but then he could play every position and be your emergency guy, please. I'd rather have him come into a game in an emergency than freaking Newman. Or, like, who's coming in to tackle Mitchell? Or you know, like forget about it, man. AVT is a much safer bet. I see, is Olu a top 8 left tackle thus far? No, he's not top 8 right now, but he's developing, and you know, people are acting like people don't realize Olu only played like 8 games last year, his first year, and he's getting better every week. He's this season, like it's happening. He's getting better. We're seeing it on film. I think he's top 8 eventually. I think he's gonna have a very good next year, as long as we keep seeing the rest of this year him progressing. Like if he continues the path he's on, he's gonna be very good. Not everybody's Membo. Membo's gonna be one of those special guys, right? From day one as a rookie, top 10 in the league, easy, best rookie in the league, you know, and then by next year he's probably all pro. Like Membo is special, right? That doesn't mean Olu can't be like Thomas for the Giants, Andrew Thomas, right? It doesn't mean he can't be like there's plenty of tackles who end up being all pro tackles or very good top 10 tackles in the league that struggle their rookie year or they're struggling their first 20 games. He didn't really struggle even, right? He's just not as good as Membo. So we were more critical of him, right? Like he looks bad because Membo's so good. But like when you really look at it, for a young guy playing his first full season, he's actually okay. People like they'll show a sack, right, to like a guy like, you know, Myles Garrett. And people say, look, he stinks. It's like, it's Myles Garrett. It's a future Hall of Famer. Like people forget. We always do that as Jet fans. Anytime something goes wrong for one of our players, they stink. Like, no, nobody's perfect. Every star sometimes looks bad on a play, right? Like, my God, unless it's like they're a Hall of Fame player, but like when you look at the stats of like the best left tackles or the best right tackles in the league, they still have some pressures they've given up and some sacks that they've given up. Like they're not perfect. But we as Jet fans, Olu got beat. He sucks. He's a bust. That's the mentality of this fan base sometimes. But I really want to get back to my point. Quarterback. We have the offensive line. We even have a WR1 in Garrett Wilson. We actually have what looks to be a very good slot. It's like the gods came and said, we're gonna fix what the disaster of Malachi Corley, and we're gonna just give you this guy Mechie, who I think and I've always loved him in college. I think Mechie's our guy at slot receiver. I think we got a guy. Like, I think he's going to be very good because he was supposed to be good. He was supposed to be an excellent wide receiver in the NFL. He just got sidelined by injuries and disease. He's healthy now. And I love what Aaron Glenn said. He's freaking working out and catching 300 balls a day. Oh my God. And he's always been a hard worker. Even when he did his rehab, when he got his ACL, they showed videos of him, how hard he was working. This is a guy who will not be denied. And I don't think, I know AD Mitchell, the drops, the drops. I like AD Mitchell. He gets open, he creates space. He might not be the WR2 of the future, but he's going to be on this roster. And he's a dangerous player. He's big, he's fast, he gets open. When we have a real quarterback, we're going to see what this guy could be. As a matter of fact, even with just Tyrod Taylor, I'm looking forward to the rest of the year to see what this guy, AD Mitchell, is. He's still got a couple more weeks without Garrett Wilson there to be the lead guy. But I want to see what he can do. What is he going to do when Garrett Wilson's on the other side and he doesn't have the other team's best corner covering him? He got open in New England against Gonzalez. Like, what's going to happen when there's a real WR1 on the other side of him? If he can play the Y opposite of Garrett Wilson, what's going to happen? Or is it the Z? Help me out, Dane. The other side, you know what I mean? Not slot. X, Y, Z. I always mix it up. I don't know which one's the slot. But the point is, if he can play the boundary on the opposite side of Garrett Wilson, it's going to be like it's different because now they have to put their safety, the double coverage, the best cornerback on Garrett Wilson. And this guy, as the number one guy without our team, without Garrett Wilson, is creating space, and he's never had a drop issue. So we might have we might have something. We may have gained two wide receivers for nothing, and then we gained Briggs and Phillips, the defensive tackles, for nothing. This guy Moogs finds players. He finds players. And AZ Thomas, now that we ended up trading Sauce, ends up being an incredibly good pick. Oh, so I was right. Z is the slot, so I was right. Why? Right? You could will you be the Y to my Z? Will you be the Y to my X, and I could be the X to your Y, Danger? So anyway, I mean, this guy Moogs is picking up good players. Like, this is real, man. He's real. He's picking up real guys. He's doing a good job in putting talent already on our roster off of the junkyard, off of the garbage heap. A throw-in AD Mitchell. Mechie for nothing. Phillips for nothing for swapping a seventh and a sixth. Briggs for swapping a seventh and a sixth. He's finding real players. And then he finally gets us a tight end. Mason Taylor is it, man. He's a real tight end. I don't know if he's going to be Kittle or Kelsey. I don't know if he's a superstar, but we have a real tight end. Offensive line, real tight end. Easy to find a tight end too. No problem. Third, fourth round. We'll get ourselves a tight end too over the next couple of years. I think Rucker's playing a little better anyway. He's serviceable. But if you want someone a little bit better, fine. Easy. Doesn't cost a lot. These guys are showing they can find it anyway. They're showing they can fill spots very reasonably with very little investment. And then we have all these picks, all these first-round picks for the real stars, to bring in new stars, to clean out that ugly locker room of losing, and now bring in a new crop of young studs with our first-round picks. But all that being said means nothing. It means nothing if we don't get a quarterback. It has to be. We need to stop talking about Aaron Glenn, and we need to be obsessing over it. It is all quarterback. Nothing happens without it. If we don't find the quarterback, we don't win. We just don't. It's so easy if you find the quarterback. Winning is so easy when you find the quarterback. As bad as Cincinnati has been in putting a roster around that player, they're always in it and they're always a threat when Burrows is healthy. That's how big a quarterback is. Yes, they got him some wide receivers, but man, that defense is terrible in Cincinnati. They've been terrible. They've never given him an offensive line. They've been terrible. Yet they found a way to always be a threat because they have a quarterback. They're just too stupid to understand the value of protecting that quarterback. We are all on Team Tank. Get a one or two pick, get the quarterback without paying. Man, I just think the only problem I have, Phil, is I think you need the number one pick. In my opinion, I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong. If we end up getting somebody that's not named Mendoza, I hope I'm wrong. I just don't like anybody that's not named Mendoza. He's the only guy I like. And yes, I'm okay with trading up to get him, but that sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Especially if we have to give away more than just one of it. Like if we gave away our two first rounders to trade up from like 4 to 1 to get Mendoza, I could live with that. I can't start giving away all the ones. Like I won next year also, or like I can't. I can't. We need the picks too. Like we also need the picks, right? We're rebuilding. But man, I think what's really going to separate us is their ability, and this is so underrated, I think, in football from a GM perspective, their ability to find average, just solid, contributing starters is so important. It's so critical because you can only with the salary cap and with a limited amount of the picks get so many great players. But we're like we just the way we filled in defensive tackle this year is like that was like, hey JD, hold my beer. That's what Moogs did. It was so good. It was so huge the way he filled in that defensive tackle position. The way he filled in, the way I mean, look, you got to give these guys credit for Stevens, cornerback. Everybody thought we overpaid. Doesn't look like it to me, man. He's playing really good. That's an 18 to $20 million cornerback right there. Maybe some people who are desperate would pay him 21, 22. Right? He's playing really good. And then AZ Thomas, third round, no brainer. Like everyone said, what's going on? Now that Sauce is gone, now it's a no brainer that was a great pick because that might be our cornerback one. Safeties, you don't think they'll be able to find safeties? I think they're going to be able to find some safeties. And by the way, Malachi Moore, a guy I wanted cut, like I hated. I thought he was the worst. After that Cincinnati game, I was done with him. And then I didn't check the PFF scores for New England, and if anyone for Baltimore, let me know. But Malachi Moore for the 2 games after the Cincinnati game was really good. Like he might actually be the one of our starting safeties for the future because he's only a rookie, and we knew as a 5th-round pick he's going to have to, he's going to need developing. So we might be magic there, man. We may already have one of our 2 safeties, which would be great. If anybody knows, like I was in flight. I have not looked at the tape yet. I've got I saw very little of the game. I'm very in the dark on how these guys played on against Baltimore, except I watched from the airport the first half, and I was really proud overall. And I thought that the interior of the defensive line looked really good. That was all I was able to tell. I was also thinking, even though we didn't score that much during the first half, I also thought the offensive line looked good. Like the offensive line is really coming together. I think I didn't see them in the second half, but I think overall the offensive line is coming together. Yeah, we know that Tony Adams thinks, right, Danger? I have no doubt about that. Tony Adams got to go. We definitely need a safety. I don't. Everyone's so against drafting a safety. If we use one of our first-round picks or a second-round pick on a safety, no complaints here. Can we finally just get a safety with a high pick? Can we invest in a safety? Like whatever Malachi Moore does best, get the opposite kind of safety, right? Malachi Moore is going to be a box safety, I think. So let's get the freaking center fielder, big play, ball tracking, turnover creating safety already. Let's just do it. Make the investment. No trade up. Take what's the best player to come to us. Grab a quarterback if top guy is gone. Take one next year till we find one. Okay. I mean, I would rather. I'm with you on Michael. I'll tell you what. I'm on you. I'm with you with one thing for sure. Do not just settle. Like if we love Mendoza and he's the guy, do not take Simpson or Dante Moore because of peer pressure of the league. Oh, because we need a quarterback and that's the guy that drops. Like if you don't believe in him, don't take him. Like we can't waste another 4 years on a dud. I really think I know Danger hates to hear this, but I think Dante Moore is a dud. Dante Moore is going to look like a Bryce Young type guy. He's going to be a dud. He's going to be a dud, man. Don't take Dante Moore. And when you look at that guy, when they play good teams and he's under pressure or any kind of pressure at all, nothing. When his guys are covered, man, all his completions, his big plays, his highlights, wide open guys. When they're when they're not going to be wide open, I don't know about this kid, man. I hope I'm wrong. If we take him, believe me, I'm going to pray I'm wrong. But I do not trust this guy, man. He is not my guy. You know, I just am not. I'm not a Dante Moore guy. Simpson also concerning me. Everybody wants to ignore that when he played a good like watch the tape. It doesn't look good when he's playing a good defense. And then comes Mendoza, man. Penn State, he has no time. They're all over him all game long. He's under duress. I hate people who say it doesn't count. Penn State's not good. Watch the tape. He was under duress the whole time, and he was throwing to tightly covered guys, and he was good. He was finding a way to function. So, so Finnegan, of course, likes Dante Moore. He always likes the worst guys. So always gets suckered in. Like, dude, you're watching him on Oregon, on the, you're watching him with complete protection. Nobody's touching him on his highlights. Everything is getting you excited about him. No one's touching him. He's in a wide open pocket and he's throwing to wide receivers that have 3 steps. Like I could do that. It's playing catch. When he's under pressure, look at what he's doing when he's under pressure. It's not the same quarterback. Like he's not. It's and he might potentially be a superstar. You're right. I shouldn't yell at you for that. He might be a superstar. He might, but there's no evidence of it. There's no evidence of it. All his positivity, all the good things about him are when he's standing there in a wide open pocket. Like they're blocking, there's no one pressuring him. And he's throwing the ball to a wide receiver running it across the field wide open. I don't care about that. That means nothing to me. I do not want to draft a guy because he could throw it, because he could do that. So we know he has a good arm. That's great. We know he has a great arm. That's great. But man, don't you want to see more tape of him under pressure doing it? And like we'll get to see it during the playoff. That's why I might totally change my mind. But when the playoffs start, if he does not play well in the playoffs, if he doesn't play well, you have to start understanding that concern. Like if his only good film is against weak competition when he's like in an empty pocket, like it's just no pressure, throwing to wide open guys. But when he's under pressure in the playoffs, he will be. They're going to be good defenses. He's going to be under pressure. It's not going to be easy. If he's managing to get rid of the ball in under 3 seconds and throw to guys that are only half a step open, NFL open, then fine. But if he can't do it, if he crumbles, you can't use a top 5 pick on him. On a guy who has no film doing it when it's anything that resembles the NFL. You just can't do it. There's only one quarterback that's clearly out there uh there's only one guy that has film evidence that I see right now, except for some of the smaller guys we're not talking about, like King or whatever. Um, that's really doing it like in a real NFL situation. That's under duress, guy in his face, throwing the ball perfectly placed because the guy is barely open, but he's placing the ball in the right place. The only guy with that evidence, with that film, is Mendoza. He's the only one. All the others to me are rolling the dice. They're just rolling the dice. They might be great. I'm never going to say that again, that a quarterback can't be great. I'm never going to make that mistake. Because just because there's no evidence doesn't mean it's not real. It's not his fault that Oregon has a great offensive line. It's not his fault that they have great wide receivers. It's not his fault that they played terrible defenses most of the year. Like, that's not Dante Moore's fault. So I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, he can't be good. I'm just going to say, I want more proof. I want more proof. because you all know it takes more than a good arm in the NFL. It's all about processing speed. I need evidence that he could process fast enough, that he could go through progressions, and that he could throw into tight coverage. That's what I need to see. But potential, I guess that's the right word. I guess the potential is there because he has the great arm, and he does. So far is very successful overall. So yes, tons of potential. Thank you, Danger Zone. Telling people so I hope that the arm is. I hope that the arm is backed up with processing speed. And guess what? The next 5 weeks, we're going to learn all about Dante Moore and Ty Simpson, right? Because both teams, I think, are in line to be in the playoff. So we're going to learn all about them. We're going to learn more about Mendoza. Although I already got a lot on Mendoza. I know the whole. I actually hope he has a bad game in some ways. Because if he has a bad game, and then Dante Moore, like let's say they win Oregon, let's say they just dominate, right? They give him lots of time, and the receivers are wide open, and everyone's gonna go crazy over the highlights when he throws the deep ball, and then suddenly Dante Moore becomes the number one guy. Yes, let Mendoza slip to us at 5. Let him fall off because of one bad game. I've seen enough. I know Mendoza's my guy. Like, I'm not going to overreact if he has a bad game because he's already had enough good games against enough good defenses in playing real NFL offense, like as far as dropping back and going through progressions. I'm satisfied. So that would be the dream come true for me. If let's Dante Moore and let Ty Simpson look like studs in the playoff, and let one of them be real because then maybe one of them will be good for us. I would love to fall in love with one of those guys also. I want there to be more. This was supposed to be a great year, and this has turned out to be the hugest punch in the stomach ever as far as the quarterbacks this year. So many guys came into this year with big hopes, and they all flopped. So many of them. It's so disappointing. Although what's going to be fun is 4th, 5th round. We could take a flyer on some of those guys after taking our quarterback, kind of like what Washington did when they took Kirk Cousins after taking RG3. I would not mind that. I don't mind insurance policies. Like, hey, we picked a bust, but maybe this other guy that we took a flyer on will work out. This other guy who happened to get hurt had a bad couple of games, and the entire world turned on him because of a bad couple of games. And even though he was a top prospect last year, like if you take a guy like that in the 4th or 5th round, I'm kind of okay with that. I like Mendoza. I just don't bend over to get him. Yeah, the appeal at Moore is mainly to stick and pick. Yeah, look. I don't blame people for not wanting to give away the draft picks because we have a lot of needs, right? We still have a lot of holes on the roster. We're tired of losing. We're tired of sucking. Like I understand the philosophy of not wanting to trade up to get the quarterback, but I think if they believe he's the quarterback, like if they love Simpson or Moore also, then fine, stick. But if they as an organization only love one and they have to trade up to get the one, I can't argue with that because quarterback is everything. You can fix anything when you have a quarterback, especially when you start them off with an offensive line. Mark is saying good morning, and we should be judicious with our picks. Yeah, I like to protect our picks, man. I don't like to give away picks as much as other people. I mean, there are people who wanted to give away Matthew Smith, who wanted to give away all our number one picks for the next 3 years for Cam Ward. Like he was ready to give everything. He said, give this year's number one, swap, give our second next year, and the year after that's first, whatever it takes to get Cam Ward. That's what, and then you can't trade all your picks to go up for quarterback for any quarterback, right? I mean, it's hard because if they bust, you've killed everything. You basically imagine if we give away our first round pick this year and then we take a quarter to trade up and we take a quarterback and he busts. That means we gave away Quinnen Williams. We just gave him away for free, right? Or not Quinnen Williams, Sauce Gardner possibly, depending on what we do next year. Like it's like we have to be very careful with our picks. We have a lot of needs. We need a safety, at least one. I gotta watch Molokai Moore the rest of the way. The guy has got to show some consistency. So we definitely need at least one safety. Like that has to happen. There's no unimportant position in football when it's that weak. Like people might say you don't need a star safety, and that you could argue that there are plenty of teams, that win without having superstars with just good safeties, but you can't win with Tony Adams. like 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 we have a guy that's barely rosterable as an NFL player. He's a practice squad backup depth player at best, and he's on the field, and that's a problem, right? Cisco was a huge bust, man, a huge bust. That was the worst. If anything, like of all the good moves Moogs made, his worst move, him and AG, their worst move was Cisco. Garbage. That was one of the worst pickups ever. He should never play in the NFL again. He's a terrible football player. Terrible. I mean, he's just a joke, and he's lazy, and he doesn't play hard. He was the worst. The film shows the truth. Yeah, man. Give me a ball hawk safety. That's what I want, man. Give me a safety that just freaking tracks the ball, comes in and makes big interceptions. Like if we could have two more wins this year if we just would have if we had the gift of turnovers. Every other team gets them, man. We just can't get a turnover ever. So, we just really, really need to get a safety, man. I'm just like so exhausted. We need a quarterback. We need a safety. We need an edge. I would love to have a stud at edge, obviously, maybe in 27, get like that stud opposite of JJ. I mean, but it's not what we absolutely 100% need. Will McDonald's a very good pass rush specialist. JJ is a very good edge sealer, very good guy. Right? We just need another JJ. Or we just need like a JFM. We just need a guy on the other side who could seal the edge. Really good against the run, maybe get some sacks. We just need a good, solid guy. A guy that's much better than Clemens. I think our mistake is we should move Clemens on the inside. I think he'd be fine if you moved him on the inside a little bit. I really do. I think the few plays that they've done it, he's really strong. Like if you stick him on the inside where he can't screw up, it's just absorb the block of the offensive lineman, and just fill a gap, push him a certain direction. Like he would be much better. But putting him at edge is reckless because he's out of position, and then big plays happen. I don't think that's as likely to happen if he was on the inside. But either way, who cares? Clemens is gone. 7 more games and he's gone. We're never going to see him again. So, yeah, that's it's not even worth talking about. But we need a real edge, opposite of JJ. And then you have Will Clark. I mean, Will McDonald is a specialist, and we're fine. And then if that edge that we pick happens to blossom into a star, that's even better, right? So, safety, edge, quarterback. We have to resolve the center position, I think. I'm not so worried about that. That's going to be really easy. WR2. I'm not going to sit there and I think Mitchell could be better than people think and understand, but I'm not sitting there saying we could rely on him to be our number 2. And because we got him so cheap, if you drafted a wide receiver that's a true number 2 and Mitchell ends up being like a number 2, what's wrong with having 3 really good Garrett Wilson, a drafted guy that's really special, and Mitchell, and then Mechie as a slot if he's really good? Like that would be great. Then you have a young quarterback coming into a situation, good offensive line, good tight end, and a really good wide receiver room, and Brees Hall at running back, and Isaiah Davis at running back. Like suddenly, it's like suddenly we have the potential to be a great offense. If we just need a competent quarterback. That's what it always comes down to. We just need a competent quarterback. That's all this team is. The other spots, we have the picks. I'm saying what we need. We could fill all these picks. These are easy spots to fill. They don't even require first-round picks, lots of them. Need another linebacker? Don't think Williams is going to stay around too long? Or you just want a third linebacker? Not hard. Not hard in today's NFL, in today's draft. Like a tackling cover linebacker kind of guy that plays in a 3-4? A 4-3, a 4-3 linebacker. That's a third, fourth round pick. You get a solid guy. We could have taken the guy that me and freaking Dom C loved from NC State 2 years ago that Pittsburgh took, who's great. Forgot his name, Willis or something like that. We freaking loved him. We interviewed him. He was a third, fourth round pick. It's not hard to fill these spots. These are easy spots. It's if you have the quarterback, everything else is easy. And I think that we have an okay secondary if we just fill in that safety, get that ball hawking safety. If Malachi Moore is not the guy, box safety is not hard to fill. But I think Malachi Moore looks like he's getting better and might be the guy. So I'm not worried about that. Just get me the big play safety. Big play safety, a solid edge player to play opposite of JJ. Another linebacker you bring in if you want. It's not the most urgent thing this offseason, but next offseason it probably will be urgent. Because because Williams might leave or whatever. Okay, but I mean these are easy things. These are light things. The biggest need is probably outside of quarterback is probably WR2 because we can't right now. It's too early to sit there. You can't be high enough on Mitchell to say we got a WR2, right? But we're talking about light things. Like we actually some of those number one picks in 27 might be luxury picks. Luxury picks means stars, bring in stars, but we're not handcuffed to a position. Like we could just take the best player that has the best chance of being a star. Let's say Dallas next year goes 7-10, which is very possible, or 8-9, which is very possible, or 9-8, and they have the 15th, 16th pick. You see what's in there, what's available every year at that point of the draft. You could go for anything. You get a freaking stud guard if we didn't extend somebody and we need a guard. You can get a stud easily on a WR2 with that pick. Easily. You get a stud safety. Sometimes the best safety in the draft is taken at 15. You could take a stud linebacker. You could take a freaking stud defensive tackle, which I don't think we need, but you might get them. I mean, 27 is going to be a crazy draft because we don't know how the Colts will be next year, or we don't know how the Cowboys will be next year. We don't know that the Colts are going to be sustained winners. They're having a magical year. If Jonathan Taylor slows down that next year, like the way we saw Barkley slow down this year for the Eagles, like if that happens to Jonathan Taylor, that we don't even know that they're going to have Danny Dimes in their team. And even if they do, we don't know if this is a fluke. We don't know. They might start falling apart right now, the Colts. Let's see how they do the rest of the year. They might end up 10-7 this year. It could happen. Look at their schedule. And by next year, they could be an under 500 team. We don't know what our draft picks are going to look like in 27. I mean, it is not impossible that we're going to end up with 3 top 20 picks. 3 picks in the top 20. If we get the quarterback, it will be so easy to fill the other spots. People keep asking me how the mashed potatoes were. They were delicious. They give it to you in like a little dessert, like a ice cream like dish, like a poultry, a peachy dish. They give you this scoop of mashed potato that's bigger than it looks, and then you just put on the toppings. And I mixed it up, but I got caught up in some other things. There was a steak line station with Peter Luger steak sauce and cream spinach and macaroni and cheese, and it was great. And then there was another station with sausage and peppers and pasta, and man, and then there was this table nobody cared about, which I don't know why, with all these delicious cheeses cut up in pieces and tons of crackers, and nobody was touching it. So I went and I made a plate with a mountain of different cheeses and took a mountain of crackers, and they all laughed at me. Jake Asman, Green Bean, Ryan, they were laughing at me. Like, look at him with the cheese and crackers. What's going on here? I love cheese and crackers. When you go to a store, that's the most expensive thing. That's more expensive than pasta and sausage and peppers. Like, if you want to go by value, like they're acting like I'm eating the boring thing. That's the expensive thing. Like I was like, why aren't people doing this? Free cheese. I mean, it wasn't like the cheap kind of cheese too. These were like real cheese. There were Goudas and Bries. I was eating cheese, man. Cheese and crackers are delicious. Phil Adams says it. Cheese is the food of the gods, man. Cheese and crackers. That's all about it. So anyway, I filled up, man. I didn't even eat at the sit down. The sit down dinner didn't even eat. Because they burned my filet. I said filet mignon. I said rare. I did the right thing. The reason I said rare is because every time I say medium rare, they overcook it. So I said, say rare, and then if they overcook it, maybe you'll actually get medium rare, right? I cut into this filet mignon, brown in the center, not a shade of pink. It's like, why'd you ask me? If you were just going to give me this burnt piece of shit, why did you even ask me? Which is exactly why I listened to my father. My late father, who passed away last year, always taught me. Told my mother this, and then they told me this. When you go to a New York wedding, you fill up at the cocktail hour. Okay? Not only because it's pretty much always the better, 90% better the food, always much better, but because when you find something you like, don't just fill up on it. Don't assume there's going to be something else you like, because then if there isn't, you're left stranded there. So it didn't bother me that the steak, I just cut the steak in half and left it for the say, like, look what you did. You killed this piece of meat. But like, I didn't care because I had filled up at the cocktail hour because the cocktail hour was so good. Anyway, I shouldn't be talking only about food. I should be talking about this team that we have, this great team. And for those of you who don't know, what is he talking about? What mashed potatoes? What wedding? Matt O'Leary got married on Saturday, and it was a great, great wedding, and we're all very happy for him. But anyway, going back to, I think that, and I agree with Jets Media, Richie from Jets Media on this 100%, because I think he feels this way. People are not seeing the opportunity that's in front of us. People are not getting it. There is an amazing opportunity ahead for this organization. Everybody's so focused on fire AG. AG sucks. People are not seeing it. If we get the quarterback, we are in position to do something very special. If we're able to get the quarterback, we have so much draft capital, and we have a GM who's proving that he could get good players for free. He is bringing in really good players for free, and people are not seeing this. It is happening. Like, we are bringing in real players. Briggs, Phillips, Mechie. I think Mitchell. I will argue Mitchell. And Malachi Moore is doing better. If he ends up being a starting safety, we got him in the 5th round. He was a day 3 pick. We may have gotten a CB1 in AZ Thomas. He has the potential to be not all pro maybe, but a CB1, a legit top 20 cornerback in the NFL. He's looking like he could be that. And it doesn't matter if he is or he isn't, but because combined, our secondary, our cornerbacks are looking okay. And then he picked up Brownlee Jr. for nothing. Like, how many guys? At what point are we going to be excited about our general manager? He's adding so many good players for nothing. We haven't even started spending money yet. The players he traded were for picks, and the players were throw-ins. He's building the back end or the middle of our roster for nothing. We still have 1,000,006 7th-round picks, even with what he did. He's literally for free. We're just filling the roster. We may have our slot receiver, Mechie, for free. Really good, solid defensive tackles, Phillips and Briggs, for free, for nothing. It cost us nothing. He's bringing in so much talent, and we have all these number 1 picks. I'm telling you, we are just a quarterback away. All of the other things are easy. Easy, easy, easy. We have so much draft capital, and we have a GM that is clearly able to fill roster spots and put in solid players where we need them. All we need is the quarterback. We are a quarterback away, and we are sitting here with a top 5 pick and another 1st-round pick to back it up, and 2 first-rounders behind, 2 second-rounders behind that. I don't understand why people can't see it. I know it's frustrating because we thought we had it 2 years ago, Aaron Rodgers, the whole thing. But man, a year ago, I was depressed. I thought it was going to be forever. And now I'm sitting here, and they managed to inject hope into this organization. She was watching me make stuffed peppers. Did I make stuffed peppers in a video? You got to remind me of the video. Uh, DJ Dirty Cooch, people equal Jake Osmond and Toxic Self. I mean, I'm friends with Jake, And I think that he agrees if we get a quarterback, we could turn it around. His job, his broadcast is a little different. I'm talking about the future and the overall thing. You have to understand, Jake is like he works for ESPN. He does a radio show. Jake is reacting to what he's seeing now in the moment, right? He doesn't really. If you were to talk to him about the future, he would agree that there's potential in this organization. Like he is optimistic if we get the quarterback. He is on that page. It's just that his show is about reacting to what he's seeing. That's what they do. They react to the present moment. And I guess that's what I'm talking against, but I'm not really going to say that I don't know if I'm going to call, he's a friend of mine. I'm not going to call him toxic. I'm going to just say that he has a job. And his job is to talk about what he sees in front of him right now. But I'm telling you, he is not oblivious to the future. Like he understands that we have a lot of draft capital, and if we get the right quarterback, we're going to be good. I promise you, he gets it. Um, is it true that Matt is getting a reality check right now with the bill for the wedding? He might be. My wife was watching you make stuffed peppers yesterday. She has a different YouTube account, everything, and has no clue about Jet Podcasters. Really? Was I making stuffed peppers? I mean, look, I've had that. The channel's been around for a few years, and then I have another Jeremy Cravat channel where I did used to cook. I just didn't know that I made stuffed pepper. I didn't know that I put that on a video. I mean, it sounds like me. I do make stuffed peppers, like I did once. A few times I've made stuffed peppers. I just didn't know I put it on video. What's on the menu for Turkey Day? I'm going to a friend's house, a very close friend from college. Her name is Stephanie. Her husband Glenn. Stephanie's mother moved to the Sacramento area. Her parents did. Her father passed away, but I go there every year, and they're Italian, so that says everything, right? So the Thanksgiving will be taken care of her. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to try to make Thanksgiving dinner when I'm invited over to an Italian grandmother's house. I'll take the Italian grandmother every time. I'm going to bring mashed sweet potato. I have this special kind of honey. I'm gonna mix a little bit in, just a sweet. I'm not gonna make it candied. I'm just gonna make it a little sweeter. Just butter, mashed sweet potato, and I'm gonna bring that as my thing, and that and a nice bottle of wine, which we always bring. I agree with you here regarding they're picking up. I do think some of the content providers are vested in negative coverage, stocking up the fans. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why they're being so negative. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I understand that. Like, it's. I'm saying all we need is a quarterback. That's a really tall order. I get it, but I really think we have the draft capital to really take another swing at it. So I guess I'm just saying if we swing and hit on quarterback, this organization is in very, very good shape. Like we are one thing away from being in very good shape. If we find our quarterback, we're in very good shape. We have a ton of draft capital. We have a lot of solid players on this roster. For a 2-9 team, it is not as bad as people think it is. There is a lot of solid players. They're just not stars. A lot of them are not stars, right? So we're not as good as other rosters and other teams, and we have some holes and we have some weaknesses. But we have a lot of solid guys that will fill in as rosterable, really just your good, solid position players that we're going to sprinkle the stars around. So I'm liking where this is heading. We just need the quarterback. Yeah, beating up AG makes no sense. I get it. He's got 2 to 3 years minimum, and we're judging him already in 10 games. It makes no sense. The thing with the R was never real because we had no offensive line. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think anytime that you look at no offensive line, when you don't have a good offensive line, it's impossible to really evaluate a football team. Yeah, I know, Johnny, you like to stuff your pepper. That's why you have 30 kids. Um, Mooj replaced the third round pick JD threw away with a second. Yeah, he did. He did do that. What a handsome fellow we have here, folks. You see, there's Jake Osmond. I told you, that's my friend. That's why. You might want to bad mouth them. And if you bad mouth him, all he's going to say is, thanks for the support, or another satisfied customer. That's our new line. But I'm telling you, Jake, I'm trying to tell them. I'm trying to speak truth for you, man. They think just because you're reacting to the current product that you don't see the potential of the future product. And I'm trying to tell them it's not true because we've had lots of private conversations, and I know that you're with me on that. That if we get the quarterback, we're going to be in good shape. We have the opportunity to be in good shape. Um, I find Jake therapeutic. I find Jake therapeutic too. I find Jake just to be a good friend. Um, Agassi, I don't know anything about that. Love Japanese sweet potatoes. They're the best potatoes to use ever. I'll look for them, man. I never. Yeah, I'm in California, so if they exist in America, they should exist out in freaking Central Valley, California. Um, I think it might have been old. She made them. She made them, and they were great. Well, that's awesome, dude. I'm really glad. It is possible that it was just an old video. I mean, I have videos out there. I mean, I've been doing it for a. I didn't do it as seriously with the Brooklyn Brothers Food Review channel, but I've put videos out there for a really long time. So, and I've definitely made stuffed peppers. So it's not like it's something where I'm saying I've never made. I have. So it's possible. Um, You talk so much shit, you summoned him. I didn't talk shit about him. I defended him. So let's be honest. don't don't do that. Don't act like I didn't do anything but defend my friend. Laugh out very good shape when we brought in Rogers. Probably his Jets history. We had quarterback. Yeah, we just have really bad luck, right? But Rogers. Someone called me an idiot for saying Rogers is not doing that great in Pittsburgh. I'm just saying the truth. He's not doing that great in Pittsburgh. It's just that Pittsburgh is real. Look, even like even when he got hurt and didn't play, like it's the coach, man. They're just a good system and they're a good coach. They're well coached. They can play. I'm not saying he's been horrible, but I mean, right after I said it and someone attacked me for it, he had like the worst game of the freaking like the worst game of any quarterback in the NFL. I agree. I just bummed we gotta we keep waiting for a winner. I am very, very bummed that we have to keep waiting. Like I hate waiting, but all we have now is the hope of the future, right? So, you know. I got a super chat. I'm sorry I can't highlight it because I'm just on my phone direct. I'm not in StreamYard. Skellington Senior sent me a super chat and says, "Keep up the good work, man." Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate saying that I'm doing good work. It's usually I don't always get that. Sometimes I get, "You're an idiot. You're a fool. Go to hell. Die." Um, the ones that are light yellow inside. Okay, man. I'm gonna look for it. I'm gonna add some honey. I got some fancy honeys. I'm a honey collector. I went to Asheville, North Carolina, and went into a honey shop and discovered the wonders of honey. I got Chipotle honey. I got firecracker honey. These are hot honeys, but I also got like this booze honey. It's like the kind of thing that like a bourbon honey. I mean, really good stuff. Retire already, 80 already, which I believe is either, I think that's Yeti. He says, "Good morning." I hope everyone's having a great day too. And good morning to you. Um, I get all the honeys. Every team is trying to poach our picks and sell us on their failures. Well, I do not like trading draft picks for players, man. I find that most times when you trade for stars, when you trade for great players, first of all, I mean, they never seem to work out for us because we just don't. We're not. I don't know. Like Devonte Adams, he comes here, and now he's much better for the Rams. So maybe we should just stop paying millions of dollars for players that come in here and do nothing for us. We've had better luck with guys like Briggs and guys like Phillips and guys like Mechie. We've had better luck. So I think we should just stick to that. Oh, you all talk so much shit and stuff. Oh, you're talking about the chat. Okay, good. Thank you. You talking about the chat? Yeah, the chat was being rude about Jake, not me. I would never be rude about Jake. I love Jake. I think Jake's gonna go live soon. Maybe that was his way of telling me. Maybe like, "Hey, Chaos, what are you doing? I'm gonna go live. You should be supporting my channel, watching me, not talking on your channel." Um, which is valid. But I told him, I said, sometimes I just go live like this because I like to talk, get some conversation going. Like, this is what I like, guys. This is what I like. I don't need five. I don't, because it's not my living. That's the thing. I don't care about money or anything. I don't need to make money. It's like talking to some Jets friends, man. Talking about the Jets. That's all it's about. And I love going on Jake's channel and talking because then you do get the audience, and that's excited. I get pumped. He's got 400, 500 people in there. When they're good and they're winning, he gets 1,000 plus people. I get pumped, man. It's not about money. It's just about like getting to talk and give your opinion on something and your views, and know that 1,000 people are listening is kind of freaking cool. Um, So whatever. Tony, I love you, man, but no, man. No, Jake's a professional, guys. Like I don't think you understand the amount of work that goes into what he does. Like how he cuts in the production, the amount of effort and work he puts in, the knowledge that he has. I mean, I'm mispronouncing names. I'm like, who's this? Who's that? You understand the knowledge that he has? Like he's bringing up players. He knows their stats. He knows this. He knows that. He knows. He could tell you in 2023 they did this and then they did this. Like he puts so much effort into it, guys. Like, so I just hope you can appreciate that. Like, I look at him, I'm in awe of like the production and like what he's done. So, very few people who want to do what he does make it to the point where they're ESPN New York radio. Like, he's talking to Tannenbaum. Every week he's talking to Tannenbaum. Like, do you know how hard it is to work your way up to that? Like it's just not easy. Like there's so many people who want to do it, right? That would love to be broadcasters, would love to have these podcasts, would love to have a show where they're freaking he's talked to Wayne Corbett directly. He talks to Tannenbaum on the regular. Guys, like please, come on. He's got Sabo, right? I mean, he's got real people that value his show, that come on his show. Like he's done amazing. He's doing great work, guys. He's doing great work. And I'm telling you, you don't know him personally. Like when you get to know someone personally, it's different. Like you're talking to him about like, oh, his takes on the Jets. I know you might be mad. You might not like and agree with him, but he's an excellent human being, guys. Like he's a good dude. Like he's really, really fun. He's a really nice guy. Like he doesn't deserve to have hate thrown at him. You could disagree with him, but try not to throw hate at him because he's a good person. He's a good egg. Like, so I promise you that. I met him and I know him and he's a good person. And he doesn't deserve to be attacked, like, personally. People shouldn't attack him personally. He doesn't care if you disagree with his takes. Like, you could say, I hate his takes. I think Jake Asman is completely wrong. Like, you could say that, but don't attack him personally. There's nothing wrong with him as a human being. He's a good person. Yeah, he's an entertainer. Exactly. He's very good at it. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to take his negativity. I get it, but that's his job, man. That's his job, you know? And if you don't like it, that's fine. Green Bean. Green Bean's a real entertainer. Like Green Bean is a different level because Green Bean could sit there. He doesn't even have to talk about the Jets. Green Bean just needed something to pull you in, right? Because he could talk about anything and he's entertaining because he's a comedian. He's a storyteller. So like Green Bean is like magic. It's like I couldn't turn him off once I started watching Green Bean. And I love him as a person. We're friends now. And it's like I'm in awe of my own friends. Like when I hang out with him, I have such a good time because he's so funny. Like, even if you watch my video of the wedding, like whenever I put the camera on him, he had that look like he is hysterical, guys. Even in real life, everything he does is he's a real comedian. Comedians like observe things and then they they observe things that regular people don't notice. They say it out loud and it's funny. So he's a great guy. Um, you're saying Gator doesn't hurt either. Are you talking about having Gator helping him with the production stuff, like the videos, Yeti? That is true. It doesn't hurt to have a Gator as your fan and willing to do free work. Gator probably does work for not just him, for others, for Knicks. He's even like my logo is from Gator. Um, I've got to say, like that's a lot of money that he's like a value that he's giving. Like Gator is doing like he could charge money and do real. I don't know if he does for a living, but he's good enough to make a lot of money and he just does it for free. Just as a Jet fan, as part of the Jet community. Gator McCluskey, guys, like McCluskey, I can't say his name, but he yeah, a lot of those videos, a lot of those things that he does, the editing, like it's pretty intense stuff. It's like pretty real. Um, and it would be like a lot of money if you paid someone to do the stuff that he's doing. Like he's not just like a guy messing around. That's like professional level work. Maybe even not. Maybe I'm understating it. It's not even just professional level work. It's like a gifted professional level work. If I had unlimited money, like to invest and spend and do production on my channel, I would definitely hire him. Jake knows how to produce a watchable football comedy show. I think he will parlay that into a big time show. But he also, you have to watch him on ESPN. Like that's what people don't see. Outside of Jake's channel on ESPN, he's the real deal. Like he's like a real talk show host. He's like he does great interviews. He's so knowledgeable. And he doesn't do just the Jets. He does baseball, he does basketball. Like you don't understand, he's really talented, guys. I'm telling you. I understand you don't like the negative spin that he's had this year. He was a Rodgers guy. He wanted to win. He wanted to try them to try and do a better job at winning games this year. But I you don't agree with the take. But don't confuse the disagreement with the take with the talent and with the person because it's two different things. I got into a circle about 3 years ago. Jake's show has come a long way. He can be rude, but I respect his grinds. He can be rude. He can be rude. It's part of the show, man. It's part of the show. Guys, I gotta go. I gotta get dressed and I got clients and then I gotta run to my Roseville office for my in-person clients and the whole thing. And the problem is I gotta be showered and ready to go before my morning clients start because as soon as I'm done with my morning clients, I have to jump in the car and go to the office. I don't have a lot of time. So I gotta shower and get ready now. So shalom, be well. Shalom. You don't say shalom for goodbye. I guess you could. Um thanks guys. Take care. And it's Dr. Chaos time. It's Dr. Chaos time, exactly. Yeah, I'll do this more often, guys. When I wake up early and I can't sleep, I should get on and do this more often. So I will. I will try. Appreciate the support. Hope you had a good time. Hope I entertained some of you. I had a good time, so I appreciate you. Take care. Be well.